Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through old clips of the Untamed, watching Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan smile at each other on stage, and suddenly thinking, if they were so iconic together, why do they almost never appear on the same stage now? Did something happen between them? Did the company step in? Or is there a much bigger story behind the scenes? Tonight on Star Watch Now, we are not here to sell you rumors. We are here to slow down, look deeper, and understand why two of China's brightest stars chose to walk side by side, but on different roads. Stay with me until the end because the answer might change the way you see not only them, but the entire entertainment industry. We remember the time when Bo Juni Sha was not just a pairing, it was a phenomenon. A glance, a small interaction on stage, a shared laugh, and the whole internet would explode. But today, when award shows are announced, when variety lineups are revealed, when brand events publish their guest list, fans almost play a game. Are they both there? And the answer is usually no. So what really happened? Let's take this step by step, calmly, logically, and with a lot of respect for both of them and their fans. Before the world called them legends, before fan edits and trending hashtags, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan were simply two young men standing on the edge of an uncertain industry. They came from different backgrounds with different temperaments and dreams, but for a brief, intense period, their paths aligned. The Untamed did not just give them roles. It gave them a shared storm to walk through. Overnight, they were no longer just idols trying to survive. They became symbols, faces that carried the hopes, fantasies, and emotions of millions of people across borders and languages. But no shared journey lasts forever in exactly the same shape. As the noise of sudden fame settled, both of them had to ask the same difficult question. Who am I when the stage lights turn away from this one story? For Wang Yibo, the answer slowly formed through engines, uniforms, and action sets. He stepped into films, tough guy characters, physical challenges that required discipline and control. For Xiao Zhan, the answer emerged through rehearsals, scripts, and rehearsed breaths on stage. He leaned into television and theater, embracing vulnerability, emotional detail, and the craft of performance. From the outside, people only see the distance growing. They see fewer shared appearances and imagine conflict. Yet, if you look more carefully, what you really see is two people refusing to be trapped in a single frame. Their starting point was the same, but their journeys need to be different if they are to be honest with themselves. They are not walking away from each other as enemies. They are simply walking forward as individuals, carrying a shared past like a quiet, unspoken understanding that no public reunion could ever fully explain. On the surface, the question sounds innocent. Why can they not just stand together again, even once? To a fan's heart, one stage, one photo, one shared smile seems harmless, almost like a gift both of them could easily give. Yet the reality surrounding that stage has changed beyond recognition. Their names are no longer just names. They are powerful signals in a highly sensitive ecosystem of media, regulations, brands, and global audiences, where every second of eye contact can be magnified, twisted, and sold. In an industry where content is closely watched and interpreted, even an ordinary joint appearance can carry unintended meanings. Producers, platforms, and sponsors understand that the reunion of such a famous pairing would not be read as a casual moment. It would immediately become a narrative. Analysts dissecting body language, fans arguing over interpretations, headlines choosing the most dramatic angle possible. The weight of that attention does not only fall on them, it falls on every project they are currently leading, every team working behind the scenes, every contract carefully negotiated. There is also the quiet pressure of responsibility. Both Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan are now faces of brands, cultural projects, and international collaborations. Their image is not only personal. It is shared with companies, co-stars, and entire crews whose livelihoods can be affected by a single controversy. A simple stage in this environment is not simple at all. It is a calculated decision with consequences that ripple far beyond one night. So when they choose not to share that stage, it is not a rejection of their past or of each other. It is more like an invisible act of protection. Protecting their current work, their teams, their partners, and perhaps even protecting the memory of a time when standing side by side was still easy. When you first fall for a pairing, it feels like discovering a private universe. Every shared glance becomes a story. Every joking comment becomes proof of something bigger. For many fans, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan were not just two actors. They were the center of a whole emotional world built around the idea of them together. When that visible togetherness fades, it can feel like watching a favorite constellation slowly disappear from the night sky. There is a sense of loss even if nobody has done anything wrong. But perhaps this is where fandom can evolve into something deeper and more resilient. Loving an idol only for the moments they share with another person is a fragile kind of love. It rises quickly, but it can also fall apart at the first sign of distance. Loving them as individuals, however, requires patience and a broader heart. It means following their work, even when it does not feed your fantasies, celebrating their growth, even when it pulls them further from the image you once held close. A new way of loving them might look quieter on the surface, but it is stronger underneath. It is choosing to appreciate Wang Yibo's focus, his calm persistence in challenging himself physically and creatively, even when that has nothing to do with the Untamed. It is choosing to honor Xiao Zhan's commitment to emotional nuance and his courage to stand on a theater stage where there are no edits, no filters, only raw performance. It is allowing yourself to feel proud rather than disappointed when they are recognized for achievements that belong solely to them. This kind of love asks you to let go of control and entitlement. It invites you to say, I may never see them together again the way I did before, but I am still grateful I was there for that chapter, and I am still here for who they are becoming now. If the stage has changed, then the role of the audience must change too. Fandom is not only about waiting for content to arrive from above, it is also about what you choose to create from below. For international fans who can no longer rely on frequent joint appearances, there is an opportunity to reinvent what support looks like in a healthier, more creative way. Instead of pouring all your energy into hoping for a reunion, you can build bridges between cultures, projects, and people using the inspiration you once found in that pairing. Imagine fan communities in different countries choosing one weekend to spotlight both of them, not as a couple, but as two powerful artists who once happened to share a legendary moment. Fans in the United States might organize online watch parties for a Wang Yibo film, while fans in France host a discussion about Xiao Zhan's latest drama. Subtitling teams could collaborate across time zones, making interviews and behind-the-scenes clips accessible to viewers who do not share a language but share the same respect. Charity projects can also take on a new color. Rather than competing over which side supports more, fanbases can quietly coordinate acts of kindness, donations to education, environmental projects, mental health initiatives, dedicated in parallel to each star. These actions do not need loud announcements. They are a way of turning admiration into something that gently improves the world they work in. Creative fans can use art, essays, and thoughtful commentary to shift the conversation away from gossip and towards craft. Analyze their performances, compare their character choices, explore how their public image has matured. In doing this, you remind the wider audience that they are not just icons of a past ship, but active contributors to contemporary Asian entertainment. This kind of fan activity does not erase your memories. It simply proves that your love has learned how to breathe in a different air. In the end, the real answer is both simpler and more painful than many rumors suggest. There is no single dramatic revelation, no secret argument in a backstage corridor that explains everything. The truth is that life moved forward. Two careers expanded. The industry tightened. Expectations multiplied. And somewhere along the way, the cost of sharing a stage became higher than the emotional reward they could safely afford to give. It is tempting to believe that if they truly cared about the fans, they would just do it once. One joint performance, one surprise appearance. But that wish often overlooks the reality that they are not only responsible for fan feelings. They are responsible for entire teams, co-stars, investors, and families whose lives are woven into their decisions. What looks like a simple choice from afar is, up close, a knot of obligations, contracts, and delicate balances. So the real answer may be this. They step carefully now because they know exactly how powerful their names are together. They understand that one smile between them could overshadow months of work by dozens of other people. They know that a reunion would not be received as two colleagues meeting naturally, but as a symbol loaded with meanings they can no longer control. Does that mean the bond of that earlier time was fake? Not necessarily. Some connections are real but cannot be lived out publicly forever. Some stories are complete even without a second season. The chapter of Bo Juni Sha did what it needed to do. It brought comfort, excitement and community to countless people during a particular moment in time. The real answer then is not why they are apart, but how we choose to carry that story forward without demanding that they replay it again and again just to keep us from letting go. In the end, the real answer is both simpler and more painful than many rumors suggest. There is no single dramatic revelation, no secret argument in a backstage corridor that explains everything. The truth is that life moved forward. 2 careers expanded. The industry tightened. Expectations multiplied. And somewhere along the way, the cost of sharing a stage became higher than the emotional reward they could safely afford to give. It is tempting to believe that if they truly cared about the fans, they would just do it once. One joint performance, one surprise appearance. But that wish often overlooks the reality that they are not only responsible for fan feelings. They are responsible for entire teams, co-stars, investors, and families whose lives are woven into their decisions. What looks like a simple choice from afar is, up close, a knot of obligations, contracts, and delicate balances. So the real answer may be this: they step carefully now because they know exactly how powerful their names are together. They understand that one smile between them could overshadow months of work by dozens of other people. They know that a reunion would not be received as 2 colleagues meeting naturally, but as a symbol loaded with meanings they can no longer control. Does that mean the bond of that earlier time was fake? Not necessarily. Some connections are real but cannot be lived out publicly forever. Some stories are complete even without a second season. The chapter of Bo Juni Sha did what it needed to do. It brought comfort, excitement and community to countless people during a particular moment in time. The real answer then is not why they are apart, but how we choose to carry that story forward without demanding that they replay it again and again just to keep us from letting go.